3, 1. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't drag this over. Because I don't want my laptop to be there. I want my laptop to be here. But it won't let me move this over, apparently. Ah! Go where I want you to go! Weird. This is weird, man. Really weird, man.
Yeah, I got more weird stuff, you know.
Let's try that. All right. So, what's up, man? How's it going?
Now I get this when I try to log in. So, oh yeah. So
Yes. Right. So, show me what you're doing.
So what I'm doing is I have this the React content, and then this is the Rails one.
Yeah. So you have this like the Rails server going.
Yeah. So this is the Doku deploy.
Yep.
And this is the create new projects branch. So when I run Rails start, it does its thing, and then here I do yarn starts. So they're both doing the things. This one is taking its time. This one is taking its time, and now you're taking your time. Yeah, so it loads this page. The sign up page.
Does it sting? Does it sting, doesn't it?
Yeah. This guy is taking a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I'ma just wait for him.
It should take longer for the yarn starts than for the Rails server to start, but why won't you come over here? We gotta set it alone. So you haven't actually been able to make any changes to this branch, really?
The Doku deploy.
Yeah, no, not the Rails branch, the React branch.
No, like I was just trying to test if.
Yeah, if you could create a project, and then to try to create a project, you need to log in, and to log in is where you're getting blocked.
Yeah, so yesterday I tried logging in with the passwords that I got, and then I wasn't able to. So I reseeded the database.
Yeah.
I actually dropped the database and created it anew and migrated and reseeded it.
Yeah.
And now
Okay.
I think
So now you go to login.
now I go to login. Then I have premium.
Yeah.
Then the password should be premium 123.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it says, yeah, I just had a feeling that I should not be getting this if you are able to sign in. Application controller RB116. So I opened website 1. 116. Yeah, where they're adding the cookies. So
Well, I
maybe
mean, that we don't need because you don't need to set the cookies in the Rails side of things.
so I should. But where is it being
I
called?
mean, I don't know. I mean, you could look for that
So
before
before,
action. So that's before what action? Everything.
so yeah, I think before everything.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've never got that before. I can sign in from here with no problem. I mean, I guess like there's a couple questions. Like, I mean, you could like one thing you could do is you could go look in your. Can you go back to the React the front end? I didn't even see you click the button and see.
This. So like the localhost.
Yeah, but so that page there is a Rails. That page there is a Rails page,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
how are you getting there?
I come to sign in, log in.
No, I mean you definitely shouldn't be getting redirected to a Rails site.
So I do premium. So this is the Rails one.
Yeah, yeah.
Premium. Then I do premium.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I want to, and I do enter.
No, so there's definitely something wrong. So go to the code where
So
go to
the
the React code. You don't need to stop this stuff because then you need to start it again.
will take
If you need
time.
to do anything, just open a different terminal, so you don't have to lose that time stopping and restarting stuff.
So exit one and so this is why I was telling you that in the development server the app URL was localhost.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. You haven't changed anything there, and there's nothing wrong with that. Can you go to the post login info?
Post login info.
Yeah, that first one,
The
post
action.
login info. Yeah.
The action.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I think initially it was this.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but you can change it to localhost if you want to. I mean, that's the other thing I would suggest. It's not so important that you can. I mean, it's kind of weird, but it's. I don't know if it's so important that you be able to log in. I mean, it's important if you want to be able to debug it, and you should be able to do that because I've done that many times. But like, you could try erasing that and seeing if you can sign into the actual develop server. And while you're doing that, like, I can try to see if I can replicate things here. Although I seriously doubt I can because I sign in every day and nothing happens like that.
So
Yeah, so you need to use like new user 2 at user.com.
then password is user123.
Yeah. User 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it logs in with that.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if there's something wrong with your local Docker deploy branch. I mean, I can't be guessing, but like if I come here to website 1FE And you need to check what your where that's going to, right? Is that
Where
going to, yeah, that's good. So that's going to localhost, which means that it doesn't have any chance of passing, because
yeah,
you're signing into the develop branch, but then you're trying to create a project in localhost.
this is control. We should move this guy closer here so it's easier. So create. This.
Yeah, I mean, I just signed in to localhost.
Uh, with just the exact few changes that I made.
I mean, I don't know if it's the exact changes you made, because but the only change I made was to change the post login info action to log into localhost, and then I started the Rails server and logged into localhost with the exact same password and email and password that you were using. So I'm not sure. You might want to check what differences you have on the Docker deploy branch.
So that's here. Command. Okay. While that one opens, I've received this.
I mean, the thing is that, and maybe you already know this, but like, I would hope that this wouldn't be something you would get blocked by, unless for some reason you tried to create the project in the develop server and you just weren't able to create the project for some reason, and you can't figure out why you can't create the project. And then you're like, I need to log into localhost so I can drop in debugging like tools, and then you get blocked by this because you can't log in, because like it doesn't for finishing this ticket, it doesn't matter if you can log into localhost. What matters is, can you create a project?
Yeah.
And so I guess you've already hit on submit, and you can't, and it's not creating a project like you thought it would.
Yeah, like in the response, I was expecting it to send back like a project object.
A JSON response. Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
kind of looked like looks like it's failing, because it looks like it's maybe redirecting to like the home page or something, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's failing. I mean, I think that I've pushed up the code recently so that those changes that you made are there, but I can't guarantee that. What I can do, because I definitely pulled down those changes that you made locally, the ones that I was there when you were doing, that we kind of did together. I definitely, let me check here. I have those in the Matt. Yeah. Oh no, Mike. Set up the project controller to return JSON, right?
Yeah, I've checked. There's no difference in my.
There's no difference.
File. Yeah.
And in your Git hist,
So I only have this.
Yeah, I mean the stuff I've done since then is kind of like shouldn't be affecting anything. Um, so then the other thing I can do is I can SSH into the thing and see what commit the actual the branches that you're on. I mean, it's certainly possible that we like. Can you show me the action where you're trying to create the project?
The action is right here. Create project action. So what the action does, so it destructures the cookie and the title description and status,
Mm-hmm.
and then does this Axios thing and posts to projects
Mm-hmm.
with data of project title description status.
I mean, like looking at that, like yeah, maybe. I can't remember exactly. I mean, that looks right, I think. Oh, one thing is that you haven't added that I was telling you is important that could make a difference, or maybe it doesn't. Well, I think it definitely does make a difference, but like maybe it's not what's blocking you, but it could be. Is that you need to add the after the app authorization, you need to add a comma, and then you need to say accept, and then colon.
After this,
Yeah, line 24, comma at the end, and then accept with a capital A, and then a colon, and then a space, and then in a string say application / JSON. Also, like if you hook it up to your to the error, like we have a Redux in place for you to be able to dispatch any error that comes back. So if you haven't done that yet, can you scroll down to see if I can see if you've done that? So yeah, I would dispatch the error, you know. So you have a dot then, but on line 34, you can do a dot catch. Yeah, I mean I think you want to on another line, but anyways, you don't have to worry about formatting. And sorry, the formatting you have is different, and I don't think it matters so much. So then you want to catch the error, right?
so here I
Yeah.
have
Yeah, you don't need parentheses. You only need parentheses if you don't have a parameter. So error, yeah. And then you want to dispatch. And then that's a function, right?
yeah.
And then you have an object inside of that. And then you can hit enter. And then the type is going to be like, no. Type, and then, I don't know, create project failure. No, you don't want to put it in a string. Just you're going to import it. Well, actually, I mean, you could do either way, I guess, but I don't know if there's an argument for that. I always import it. And then the payload is going to be error.message. Yeah.
You call a function?
No. Error.message. So then, you have that there because you haven't imported it. And then you'll need to create the type.
And where else? No, there's nowhere else I'm using it.
No, you need. Yeah, I mean, you do need to add it to the reducers, right? You have an error reducer. No, error reducer.
Reduce.
You just have one reducer that reduces all the errors. So it's like a case statement, not the test, the reducer. The second one.
Oh.
Not the test.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I have all those, on line 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that should be good. So now, I mean, maybe that thing that you did with accept JSON is going to solve the issue, but if it doesn't, then you'll be getting like some. You'll get I mean, it's something you need to do anyways, and it might help you to try to figure out what's going on, because now you can't easily go through and see.
Yeah, I have the project created, I guess.
Sorry, did you hit submit again?
Yes, I hit submit.
Okay, so I don't care about what's console logged really, because it should be the same as what you were console logging before. Oh, did it create? Oh, I think it did. All right, so
it's created that.
Yeah, so does that make sense what it was?
Yeah, so maybe it was creating, but then we were not accepting JSON to be returned.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to check the database if it was actually creating, but it was like responding to HTML instead of responding to JSON, right?
Yeah.
And there's a couple things you can do. If you look through the code base, you'll find some of the actions make a call directly to like.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find one of them.
You broke a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Hello.
If you look at the create PayPal or create billing agreement.
Action.
Yeah.
Billing agreement. Yeah.
Not the test.
This is
the action.
The test. This is the action. This is the. It's not even called action.
Ah.
But it's just called billing agreement.
Yeah, but it's in the actions directory. So if you look there in line 9, like it's making a call to .json.
Yeah.
So anyway, like what probably should be done instead of making a call to .json is you should add that accept application JSON in between line 14 and 15, and then you could just make a call to PayPal new, you know? So I figured this out. Like I got stuck on this where it wasn't, I was getting some errors, and then like I read that you could add like a .html, you could add like a respond to HTML, and then I added that, but I'm like, I don't want to respond to HTML. And then, so if it, like that thing about adding, I told you adding respond to HTML not being necessary because we don't want to respond to HTML. Like you, and I pointed out to you at the time that you needed to add that accept application JSON to your action, but I think you were busy doing other things, and then you maybe forgot about it. But like this would have worked if you wouldn't have added the respond to HTML. This might have worked without that accept JSON. But yeah. Anyways, so, without that, like it's gonna respond to HTML before it responds to JSON. You know.
Do you need to create a ticket to refactor this?
I mean, I don't know if needs the word that I would use. You certainly can if you want to. It's not, I mean, on the list of priorities of like taking it to production, it's not high, you know?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, we have lots of things that are like, I mean, getting this create projects done is like, is a lot higher on the list. And like this is just the first part. Like, assuming that there's not a lot more that needs to be done with this is just the first part. And then, you know, and then there needs to be like another ticket to like be able to add source repositories, another ticket to add, you know, issue trackers, another one to add. Like, you know, I was thinking open up maybe you could, like, after you put in the PR for this, maybe you could open up a ticket to add each of the, like, you know, add each of the other things that are like optional for creating a project, and then, you know, maybe many different people can be working on it. Hey, Arun.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Actually, it's 6 a.m. It's 6 in the morning.
Wow. Yeah, it's 8 a.m. where I am. So you're... Yeah, well, great.
I mean, I didn't sleep at all, so.
Yeah.
So,
Mike, what's left of this ticket then, Mike?
Just the cucumbers. And
right. Okay.
Also, just to ask, do the, okay, it's gonna be a redirect to, like, when the submit is complete, it should redirect to the project list. Is that part of
it? It should redirect to the project that you just created.
Yeah. So is that part of this, for this to be merged?
I think so. I mean, that sounds like I mean, especially if you're going to do a Cypress test. Like, I would say that maybe, I mean, yeah, we did say that we want to start doing so. I'm kind of a bit conflicted because on the one hand, I'm like, you know, let's try to finish this as fast as possible so it can unlock other tickets for other people to work on. But then at the same time, we did say that we wanted to have Cypress tests going forward. And so I'm tempted to say, like, let's do the Cypress test, particularly since you should be able to borrow like stuff that I've already done, you know, and maybe it wouldn't take too long to do that. I mean, we have almost an hour until the Scrum. We could work on that. But like, if you're going to do a Cypress test, like the Cypress test would say something like, I click the submit button and I'm redirected to the, you know, then I should see, and then the title of the, you know, the title of the project or something. So, but that's easy. That, I mean, redirecting to the redirecting to the place where the project info page is just adding like one line of code to your action, your then block. But then you also need to pass down the history from the parents to the child, I think. Like, yeah, you do, because you need to call history.push. So instead of like passing down just the title, description, status, and cookies, you need to pass down the history as well.
Yeah, let me get the door and be back in like a minute.
Yeah, I've got to go. I'm going to go real quick. I'm just going to mute myself, and I'll be back in a minute as well.
Okay.
So you'll yourself in a minute.
Yeah.
But I'll be back. Actually, Arun,
Yeah, tell me.
could you, if you're not doing anything at the moment, I feel bad just leaving you here by yourself. I gotta go do something real quick. Would you mind having a look at my at the PR I put in on? I need to fix the test, but I put in a PR on Friday where I was kind of working with Calvin to do the edit event, and we ended up like kind of realizing that the PR that I got merged in about creating events kind of like made it more difficult to reuse the event form for the edit events because like I ran into some issue with like lagging when you're typing, like it was coming up with a lag and stuff, and so I was trying to like refactor things to make use of like should component updates, you know, and then I kind of I end up like reverting things. So anyways, I don't know if you're not doing anything. Could you have a look at the changes I made and see if it makes sense to you why I made those changes?
So are you referring to this? Wait a minute. So which PR are you referring to? 179?
Yeah.
Okay, but I was just confused because it was from Matt. Okay, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna take a look. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Matt, you know.
Oh, sorry, I'm sleepy.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look.
Yeah, I'm Matt, and Mike is has just walked away. But yeah, I'll be right back. I mean, if you don't, it's kind of maybe it's not so clear what I'm doing, so I can explain things. But if you could just skim it and see if it makes sense to you, like then I can explain when I get back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look. Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Hi, Arun. Hello.
Hey, Mike.
Hi. So we were just going through the create projects ticket, and so initially I was having a problem when logging into my localhost. So for example, if I wanted to it's called the login action, yeah, the post login info. If I do HTTP localhost localhost 3000 and try accessing when I come here and I try logging in, oh, it's not asking me to log in.
Can you try creating a new project? It should require a user to be logged in, right?
Yeah. So to create a new project, the user should be logged in. So if you do test and submit, do the inspect. I think it's now using a different session because it's creating a project. 179. Yeah, the last one it created was 178.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, but then now it's creating on the. Let me just go incognito.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Local host. Waiting. And let me try logging in. User@user.com. No, not that. I think it's premium. Premium at premium. Yeah. Yeah. So you see when I try accessing the local host,
Mm.
yeah, so when I try like logging in using localhost 3000 this, it redirects me to this Rails thing. But Matt is able to do this without any problem. So
Interesting.
I was blocked on this over the weekend. So that's what we Matt like told me that I could. He already deployed the changes that I needed to create a project on the server, so I could just send to this without doing the localhost, and that like resolved, and now I'm able to create projects to uh, the dev deployments. Yeah, and also another thing that he added on my code was create project. Uh, create project action. On this action, I was missing this accept in the headers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because without these accept, I think um, what is returned, what the initially I had it as such. I had it as such. So he just asked me to add this accept application JSON because what it was initially returning was an HTML which
Oh, that's
looked like,
point. Yeah, that
yeah,
makes.
which looked like it was returning the home page. But then now with this, when I create the project, I think I'm able to see that the projects are successfully uh, created. Submit. Yeah, so it returns a JSON. So those were the two things that I was blocked on, and he hasn't blocked me on. So I think the next step is to create the Cypress tests to um, I already started writing the
So actually, I have a question, if you don't mind.
yeah.
So I haven't, haven't tried to like log in into an account locally, so I have no idea how it actually works. So you told me it worked for Matt, right?
Yeah, the local host one.
I mean, logging in. So Matt was able to
Yeah.
log in, but you weren't, right? So and you got this weird
I, I, I,
error, right?
I think you broke for
Um,
me a little bit.
Yeah, Arun. So I think I can like the thing that Mike was explaining is like if you want to if you're working with if you're doing the entire feature, so you're working with like the React stuff, but you're also have the Rails application cloned locally, and you're doing stuff with the Rails application. Like so, maybe you're trying to create a project, or for me, I was trying to create events, and I wasn't able to create events, but I didn't know exactly why I wasn't able to create events, right? So one thing that I can do, having a Rails background, is I can drop in like a binding.pry, right? So
Right.
I might want to, instead of like trying to like create an event on the develop server, it's there in the in the cloud in Azure. I might want to like actually log in to the local host, like by running Rails server, and then logging into localhost, and then that will give me a cookie that I can use to create an event, right?
Right.
So then when it hits the events controller, I can drop in a binding.pry, and then I can ask like, what params am I receiving, and I can step by one the different steps that it requires to create a new event, and I can ask certain questions, so I can try to narrow down what it is that I need, what it is that I'm doing wrong, So if you're not planning on doing stuff in Rails, like then you don't need to worry about it. But if and it also, like, what I was telling Mike about being blocked by it is that like being able to log in like to localhost is not only important if you need to debug something,
Right. Yeah. I was wondering about this. After looking at the error that Mike was showing me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, like I'm looking at the set user ID method in application controller, and I'm not sure if I understand the error. So I was just curious to see if you guys actually.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that it really shouldn't be hitting that, and I'm not sure why it is for Mike, but like I was just able to like do things for me locally here, and I didn't come up with that. So I'm not really, and I'm pretty sure, Mike, you've logged into localhost before, but for some reason it's not working now,
Logging into localhost in this branch.
When you say this branch, you mean in the React side or the Rails side?
Like from Rails.
Well, I mean, the only place you can log in to the back end through the React front end is on the doc we deploy branch, because any other branch doesn't have the devised JWT, which is the gem that we're using to like log in. So yeah, it would just work on the doc deploy branch. But yeah, I thought that I had been logged in with you before to localhost, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So maybe I was just committing that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is to put in controller. I need this now. So I need to create the Cypress. Even I'm logged in, then I should be able to create new project. So
just to jump in there, like it should contain new project, the same as on line 237, because when you're saying that the title of the project is new project, which means that's what it's going to contain on the, and I think I think that it's not going to be an H1. I mean, I could be I could be mistaken because I know for events, for example, on the event info page, it's an H2 with the title. So unless it's different for the projects, but I can check that here in the background while you do that. Like I think it might be an H2. But anyways, like I mean, not that that's a big deal. Like you can expect it to fail. Like
Yeah.
actually, it is an H1. Sorry, so it is an H1. I don't know why it's different for the projects than it is for the event. That's kind of weird, but it is an H1. So
Yeah, sorry for being mean.
and then like 245 and 236. Yeah, you can get rid of those. Yeah. I mean, run those tests and see what happens. I mean, remember that you still haven't wrapped this in a fixture, So this is actually going to hit the database, which is okay, I guess. But like, you probably wouldn't want to run that test too many times until you wrap it in a fixture,
Okay. So can E to E
Local.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
expected this and so and what's the for one is for
401 is unauthorized.
because I thought I saw something in the search. Need to sign in. What does that mean?
I mean, I think you know what the unauthorized means because you're just getting that error many times when you were trying to do it manually.
Yeah, but then we logged in.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get what it means.
I mean, it probably means that the cookie doesn't match what the, like So I mean, you could probably like, where are you logging in?
Yeah. So where I'm logging in is yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you're logging in, and are you actually logging in, or are you like, so on the test that you're doing, you're trying to create a project in the develop server right now, and where are you logging into?
Yeah.
You're not actually logging in, are you?
Yeah, we're just mocking it.
Yeah. So you're getting the exact same error as you would get if you were logging into localhost and you were trying to create an event in the develop server. The cookie doesn't match what the login matches.
Yeah.
So even if you are sending a cookie, it doesn't match, you know? So you're unauthorized. So that brings back to the point that we don't actually want you to create projects every time you run the test. We want you to mock that.
Yeah. So is it logging?
I mean, I think that do you have like a monitor and a computer, or do you just have one?
No, I
can't
just
remember.
have one.
Okay. Like what I would be doing in your place is I would be like pulling up or actually I don't even think you need to actually, because you have there, like, now that my PRs got merged in, you have there, well, actually I don't know if it's been merged into this branch. You could merge in the latest stuff from develop, or you could go to GitHub.
I think it broke for me, but you came back when you're saying I could merge in the latest thing we have on develop.
Yes, that's one option. Or you could go to GitHub and you can look at the latest that we have in develop.
So maybe I could just pull down the
I mean, you
stuff.
have to stash your changes, I think, but yes, you could just pull.
Yeah, I don't think I have so many changes. They go all the time.
Actually, Mike.
Yeah.
I realized I might have told you something wrong, because when I say merge in the latest changes, you don't want to do how you normally do that with git pull upstream develop.
Hello.
Like you want to rebase, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Which you need to do anyways, because if you look in GitHub, like one of the things I was suggesting you do is push up your latest changes and then rebase, because you have a bunch of conflicts like in GitHub. So you need to rebase, but I don't know if you want to spend time doing that now or not, but like you need to rebase. So I think like now if you do a git status, you'll have like a bunch of like changes and stuff like that. So I think what I would suggest maybe is that you do a hard reset to the latest commit that you just made. And that'll get rid of all those changes that you're trying to pull in that you that you actually don't want to pull in, you want to rebase to?
Matt,
Yes.
you're breaking so much for me. Let me just
All right. So I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe we should drop off the call and we can just do this on Slack then, because if you can't hear anything I'm saying, then it doesn't really make much sense to stay on a call, does it?
no.
I mean, I can repeat myself every time, but like the instruction. So I guess like I'll just type you what I'm saying, and then you can try that out. If you want to stay on the call, it's fine. But I'm not gonna. If I keep repeating myself, then it's kind of like. So when Anvil channel on a mic, what I would do is reset to the latest that you just made.
And it looks like some of these.
Mike,
Yeah.
don't worry about those because you're not going to work through those. Can you go to the Anvil channel, please?
Oh, okay. Is it head like that or just head? Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I would do the commit ID because you're doing a hard reset. So if you're wrong, then it's going to be more difficult to get it back. Like, so that's you there you can see exactly what the commit ID is. So.
Um, just forgotten repairs.
What are you looking for?
The rebase.
I sent there on the channel.
This last one.
I mean, probably this is. Yeah. So now you're with the same. Now you're with the same conflicts, right? I think.
Yeah.
But now the commit history will. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter because it depends what your commit history looks like. If your commit history, like even if you keep your commit history quite nice, like my events got squashed and merged. So like that's up to João whether he wants to keep your commit history, which he, I don't know. It's a good likelihood that he won't. But it's still a good habit to get in to do this, because if you do keep your commit history clean, then you can keep your commits, So so you want to accept both changes there, right? Because that has the new, yeah. I think that maybe that 236 is that 236. That's different than what you have, right? Can you scroll up a little bit? Scroll up, 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 scroll up. Post login info. Right. So where's the changes that you made to the that you just had in that file? You had like a online.
I stashed them.
Yeah, but I noticed that. But you had on line 230. Can you go scroll down to line 236? You had more than just that. I should be able to create new projects. You had more than visiting the thing, and it should contain 236, 236, 236. You had more than that, right?
Yeah.
So I think and what you stashed was not changes that they weren't changes that like that drastic of changes. They were less than that.
Yeah. This is yeah, I can't see. It should be here.
You can't see what?
The commit where.
Oh, because you're in the middle of a rebase, Mike.
Okay.
So you're not gonna you don't there's not really any reason to be looking at the history. What you can do is like if you have changes that that you made that you can copy from GitHub, then go to GitHub and grab those changes and just copy and paste them in. Or you can just continue like actually I think I know what it is. Sorry. I'm being a little slow. I think what's happening, if we understand what's happening, is it's going through what a rebase does is it goes back to the last commit that you share in common. Right? And then it goes forward and it goes through each of the conflicts. So you might have to deal with conflicts in this one file like 4 or 5 times, right? So what I would do here maybe is I would like scroll down to 236. There's no, now and give an enter between 235 and 236. And also you need to close you need to close that because for some reason it was sharing the closing on line 241.
Yeah. So sorry, Matt. I didn't get what you were saying again.
Close that.
Close this. Okay. Don't save.
No. Don't close the file. Do you see on line 235 how like there on line 236 there should be a closing tag, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So close that. It's the same as the one on 241. Yeah. Right. So now save that file. Save the file. Okay. So now go to the next conflict. There's no more conflict in that file. Go in your terminal. You have a list of the conflicts. Yeah. Or there in purple. Anything that's purple is a conflict.
That's just this.
No. So where's the terminal? Go to your terminal. Mike, go to your terminal. Go to the terminal. Go to the terminal. Go to the terminal. Where now? There's a list of the conflicts there somewhere.
So
No. When you ran get rebase, there was a list of conflicts, Mike. Where's the list of conflicts?
it's up here.
So go up there.
This.
No. Down.
These are
Go
the
down.
bottom.
No, go down. You did the grit reset there. Go down. Where did you do the rebase? You did a rebase, right? Where did you do the rebase? Down. There we go. There's the list of conflicts, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 files that no. Down. You see where the big letters that say conflict? That's the list of conflicts. So you need to go. So now, like one of those you already dealt with, which was the web steps, right? So now you have the login container, you have the app component, and you have one other one. So go to all of those files and go through the conflicts. Yeah. So in this case, you want to accept the current change.
Accept current change.
Yes, accept current change.
Okay.
Cool. Save the file. You can see on the right-hand side, like when there's conflicts, you'll see on the right-hand side that it'll be color-coded. So, and you have like app.js. That is, yeah, nothing. I don't know why that's even a conflict.
Yeah,
and yeah, logged in. That no, just the conflicts that you just worked through. Oh no, never mind. Up at the top, you can Mike. Can you see on the right hand side where the color is?
This
on the right, on the right, on the right. All the way. Yeah. So you can see it tells you where the conflicts are, so you don't have to look at the entire file. You can see where the conflicts are, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, you want to accept both, right? You don't want to accept the current change because both of those changes are needed, right?
Yeah.
Now save the file. Make sure you saved all the files, you know?
Yep.
Okay. So now if you go to the terminal, look at the conflicts. Did you go through all those files? No, not the conflict. Okay. So now what you can do is you can run the tests with yarn test.
Yeah, it's a slow machine.
All
I'm
right.
thinking of just buying a Linux machine.
Yes. Well, I mean, Linux would be the operating system, but then you need you need to try to decide what PC to buy. Like I'm really happy with my ThinkPad, Lenovo ThinkPad, but I'm not sure how expensive they are there. They might be really expensive. They're really expensive here in Brazil.
How many does?
Maybe what?
How much did they cost you?
I mean, I bought it in the United States, so I think I paid like, yeah. So does that make sense to you?
Module. We went from this. Replica. Maybe I need to. Yeah, it's the failing one. Import Replica from. Do I need to install? Do yarn install?
Yes. Anytime you bring in changes, you can just do yarn. Yarn is the same as yarn install.
Yeah.
My little pigeon.
My little pigeon.
So the benefit of running yarn test here, Mike, is that you can see it's not always that the test will pass necessarily, but like one thing is that when you run yarn test, it's going to run standard for you. And so if there's a file that you didn't get through, you didn't work through the merge conflict, then it will fail before it even runs the test, and it will tell you what file you need to work through the conflicts.
Okay.
So that can help a lot.
So that's why you recommended running test. Okay.
Yes. I mean, ideally the tests would all pass, right? But sometimes like maybe you left some tests failing at one commit because you're test driving it, and so you have some tests that are failing at that commit, but then you like actually get the test to pass in a different commit, for example. So it's not necessarily that they're going to all pass that you're looking for. It's just like a good sanity check,
Yeah.
So assuming this all passes, then what you want to do is do get add all,
Yeah. So some reds.
Yeah. Some red. Where? No, they're all passing. So then get add all.
Okay.
Yep. And then get rebase continue. It's yeah, like that. Yeah, perfect. Continue. Yep. Yep. Okay, so now you have one conflict, which is in your login.test.js, which is probably the same conflict. It's kind of annoying.
I say equal to this. So accept. I can accept both.
Oh, this isn't a test. No. You're going to accept the current change. Yes. Save that now and then run the test.
Yeah, I thought an hour was a lot of time, but
Yeah, it goes by too quickly. I mean, there's a question whether you should be doing this rebase right now, but I think it'll be easier for you if you do it. I think like before you start working on something, you should be checking to see if there's any conflicts in GitHub, and then if there are, do a rebase. You'll just make your life so much easier, because the smaller the rebase, the faster it goes. So are you running the test? I didn't see.
yeah. Oh yeah. Property find one defined.
Yeah. So anytime you see that error, you know that it's because it should tell you that it didn't mount properly, right? If wrapper is undefined, then that means it didn't mount, right? So you can kind of ignore that error and you can scroll up and find out why it didn't mount. Scroll up. Why didn't it mount? Why didn't it mount? There. Validation could not find store in the context of connect create project page. Either wrap the root component in a provider or pass a custom React context provider to provider and to corresponding React context consumer to connect. Is that failing the same way locally at the moment when you were? Have you been running Yarn tests locally?
No.
So I guess I wouldn't worry about that then, because maybe that's something you need to work out in your commit. And I would just say that doesn't have anything to do with the rebase. So, add everything, get rebase continue.
Yeah. Support. Maybe I need to accept both and resolve this.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds like a good plan.
No, accept income and
Yeah, no, yeah, accept current and then
current.
Yeah, because yeah. Accept current. Yeah. And then same thing, run the tests. Although, yeah. Did you work through both the conflicts in the index.js as well? Didn't see. So yeah, there you can just run yarn fix and that will run standard fix. Yarn fix. Gotta start the scrum. Gotta start the scrum. No, just yarn fix, not yarn standard fix. Yarn fix. You can run standard fix if you have standard, but if you want to use an npm script, then you right. So it's not working. So you might need to resolve that manually for some reason. Expected indentation of 8 and got 6. So the create project page on lines 42 and 43. (42 and 43). 42 and 43.
Yeah, this
There.
thing.
Yeah.
Remember the ghosts?
No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yep. It's like fighting with itself. Should I lint or should I not lint? Should I lint or should I not lint?
Yeah, maybe we gain the scrum.
Yeah, I'm gonna start Scrum. But I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.